Yeah, good evening, guys. I hope in the last particular session that we people saw installation process, like how do we people install the software on XAMPP server. Like already in the last sessions when we people were discussing and when we people were started doing the activity, we people do have discussed on how do we people install the applications and how do we people how to create a particular database and we people do have taken how do we people create the particular tables. We do saw two different ways. One is on graphical interface and second one is on query basis. So I hope that is clear in the DML. So let us go and start working on something we people call it as a DML and DDL. We people are going to work today. We are working on DML and as well as DDL program. So because in the yesterday class, when we people have started in the DDL process, which is going to define with some of the activities. I hope in the DML, what are the activities that we do have? Ajay, in the last session, we people do have taken this activity known as DDL, right? DML and DDL. So in the in the DDL, what kind of activities that we people are going to take actually? What are the
Create,
queries that we do have?
drop, and truncate.
Sorry.
Create, drop, and truncate.
Create. I think in yesterday we people do have taken with an create actually. So what exactly create is used for?
To create database.
Sorry.
For the creation of database.
For creating the database and as well as the tables also. You have to mention that.
Yes. Yeah.
So we people do have used a different kind of activities, which means we do have a few names and few things that we do have to take. So let us go and start working on this scenario, which is known as DDL. Okay. So what is DDL and what are the activities that we people do have? What is DDL that we have to take? So we'll talk about this activity in the DDL. DDL. What is that and what we people are going, I mean to say that what exactly we people are going to kickstart on DDL activity. Okay. So DDL stands for Data Definition Language. When we people are calling about data definition language, do remember, try to remember this activity. Data definition is nothing but which we people are going to handle the database tables and database. Under tables ni handle cheyali and as well as database ni handle cheyadaniki which we people are going to use it as a data definitions. And here DDL stands for, the full form for DDL is nothing but data definition language that we people are going to use, which is a subset of SQL used to define and manage database structures like schemas, and as well as tables and index positions, like now position values that we do have, views, and as well as etc. that we people do have in the table format. So we people are going to handle and controlling the particular database and as well as the tables. We use this particular activity known as DDL. In these, we do have a different types of queries that we do have. Common things that we do use common DDL commands that we are going to use. One is known as create, and second one, I think yesterday we people do have used the DDL command known as a create for creating the tables and as well as databases that we people used to do that. And next one is alter. That is the one thing that we use commonly. And next one is drop. That we are going to use it as a drop. And the fourth one, we people do have a truncate. So we are going to use it as a truncate too. And fifth one, we people are going to take it as a rename. So we are going to take it as na rename the particular activity. So we people are going to take with the 5 different kind of commands. And let us see what is actually the create is going to do and what exactly we people are going to do with an little bit of examples. We'll do that today. Yesterday already we have used it. Use it to create a new database objects, or you can call it a new database objects like tables, views, indexes that we people are going to provide it as indexes. Second one is alter, which means we people a new database. In that particular database, we people create objects actually. Objects are like tables, views, indexes that we do create. Next one is alter. What is an alter? So we people are going to take it now, modifies a existing database structure. Like adding a column to a particular table. Next one is drop. That is deletes objects from the database that we people are going to take a database. Next one is truncate. Drop ante enti ante complete, which means it completes deletes the objects from the database. Objects are nothing but it is like tables, views, and indexes, etc. All the dependencies and as well as all this activity which we people do have, we people are going to use it as tables and databases, which means complete database and complete tables will be removed along with the data. Okay. Next one is truncate. Truncate is nothing but it's like removes all the records from the from a table, but not the table structure, which means table columns and columns will be remains the same, structure will be remains the same, but we don't find the particular records actually. That's what we people are going to remove that particular value. Next one, coming to the next one is rename. So rename is nothing but renames a database object, which means like table and as well as column names. Like objects are nothing but like a particular tables or columns that we people are going to take a columns actually. This is where we do have taken 5 different kind of activities which we people are going to create. So this is what exactly the particular creating a particular table that we do have taken. So let us go and see how do we people create a particular table and create a particular database. So how do we people do that? So let me give you with an example. Yesterday already we people have done that, but still that we people have to understand how do we people create and what is the structure that we need to create. For example, creating database and tables, tables that we need to create. Tables. So in this particular in this series, we people are going to create a particular table, creating a database and creating a particular table actually. Creating a particular database and table is the DDL command actually. I hope you people know the data definition is nothing but where we people have handling the particular where we people are going to handle databases and as well as tables that we people are going to do that. So let us go and do first, before creating any kind of an activity, the first step that we people have to do, the first step, when we people are calling it as first step, or you want to perform any kind of an activity, that is the first thing that we need to create is creating the database. Creating is nothing but new database, new location, new kind of cylindrical structure that we create. For example, when we people are creating any kind of a table or when we people are creating any activity, here the cylindrical structure or nothing but this is a cylindrical structure which we people are going to call it as a cylindrical structure that I'm going to take. And this is where we people are going to call it as a database. Database that we are going to take it as a database. And this particular database we are going to create. And in this database, n number of tables that you people can create. N number of tables in the sense, you can create 100, 1,000 or 500, like you can create n number of things actually. You can create n number of things. So let us go and see how do we people create that and how do we people deal with that. So for example, there is a three things that we people have to discuss. The first one we people are going to call it as console panel. So when we people want to work on any kind of in the databases, when we people have taken in the last particular session, there's a three things that one of the things that we people have messed up. We can use the database and databases. We can use the databases in three formats. One is on a console, and second one is on a web based, and third one is on a desktop, or you can call it as a Windows desktop application database, which we people are going to use it as a workbench. And here web-based application, which is known as an XAMPP, or you can go with an WAMP, or you can go with an XAMPP LAMP, or you can go with an ZAMPP XAMPP. So you do have a different kind of web-based. Coming to the console, either you can go with an MySQL or Oracle, etc. Like we do have a different console in the sense black color screen. I hope you people know that black color screen. Like we do have a terminal like this, right? We do have a terminal. Same kind of a terminal for the database also. We people do that. We do have that. So here we people are going to black screen. I hope you remember. Screen that we people are going to take. One is console, second one is a web-based application, third one is desktop, which we call workbench that you people can use. So these are the three things that we are going to use. So in this activity, when we people want to create any database, the first one is creating the database. Yesterday already we have done, but I didn't given the how notes on that. Creating a database actually. What is the database and how do we people create? To create any database, over there, I'm going to use it as create database, and as well as database name, database underscore name. This is the command that we people have to use. Either you can call it as a command, either you people can call it as a syntax that you people are going to call. In the console mode, you want to create in a console mode or you want to write this activity, we people can use this particular command. This is known as creating a new database. New database. But use the database. To use this particular database, we do have one of the command. We call it as use, and as well as just you can go with a name over here. Use database and as well underscore name that we people are going to use. And in this particular scenario, we people are going to consider this particular activity like this. There is before creating a table, you need to select the database in the console panel. If you want to use any kind of databases, or you want to use any kind of, that is only the simple technique, that is create database and database name. Database name can be anything. For example, I want to give the example also. If you want to create any example, I want to create a particular employee. That is create. You can go with it's in a case, it's no case sensitive for here. So it is my habit that when I'm going to write a particular database commands on the keyboard, that I use for database, and as well as now name is known as student underscore records. This is one particular, this is the example number one that I have taken with example number one. And another one is create a database, and as well as employee underscore records, that I'm going to take as a records. And again, if you want to go with any other example, I want to take as a create database and database products that we people are going to create it as a products. Product underscore management that I'm going to take. So this is 3 examples that you want to create a database in this format that you can create it. Got it? And now let us go and see with the scenario over here, like now use a particular database actually. How do we people use a database? If you want to use a database, just in the console panel, if you want to use and you want to explore that particular scenario, then we people can take with an example. I mean to say that if you have a lot of databases and you don't have a graphical interface and you don't have this web application or desktop application, then in the console panel in the black color screen mode, then we people have to use it as use, that we need to use it as use student, that I'm going to take it as you have to represent the particular value, that is use a student underscore record, that records that I'm going to take it as records, and use where I'm going to use, and as well as employee underscore records, that I'm going to take it as records. Next one is use where I'm going to take it as products, that I'm going to take a products underscore management that we people are going to take. So this is how we people are going to create a particular database, and we people want to use in the command prompt. You will be entering into the particular entering into that particular database. For example, I'm going to take the particular exam. Yesterday, I hope we shown some of the exam server, and here I need to kickstart that, and at the same time I need to start on this activity on MySQL. Just to open the particular database, click on this particular admin that you do have. Here you have a default port number 3306, and just click on the admin. And once you people go to this particular admin, so it depends upon your RAM also, the particular speed of your database will work. My lab was a bit slow, so let's wait here. Yeah, I got a particular, this is known as the graphical interface. If we don't have a graphical interface, if I want to select any database or something like that, just I need to click on some activity and just I used to go there. So here I want to create a database. Here we are writing. This is a graphical. If I want to write a command, just go and write a command. In this command, I want to create a particular database. To create it, I'm going to create database and database name. What is the database name that we are going to take? We are going to take as employees underscore management. Just once we run, semicolon is not mandatory. Previously, it used to ask the command prompt, it will ask you. And just click on go. Over here, you do have a click on go. My particular database is going to be created. Here, I got a particular database. If I want to use that particular database in the command prompt, then I can go with an use. Just create it as a use. Just you can use that particular to use, and database name is that is employee underscore management that we are going to take, and just click on go. Oh, it says an unknown database, that is now, which means the spelling mistake that you do have written. example, and just you need to make sure this whatever spelling mistake that you do have created. Previously, it has been created this, and after adding that, we have missed some data. So once we people do have missed the particular data, here I'm going to take as na employee management that we do have taken, and the data table database was created. And if I want to use, I got into this particular database. For example, I'm out of this activity and I want to write a command known as na use and write the database name and just click on this particular activity. I got into the particular database. Like it says that use employment because as it's na no database has been selected. So when I click on this particular activity, I'm going to get. But in the console panel, which means a small dark color screen that you do have a command prompt. Over there, you need to learn the commands to use the particular database. Next one is I want to create a particular table. If I want to create any kind of a table or you want to create some table or something like that. So at this particular time, I want to create a particular table. If I want to create a particular table, which you people can call anything, I do have created some of the database from this particular database. I want to create some of the particular table. If I want to create that activity, I want to know as na create table and as well as na table name is employee that I'm going to take employees. In this employee, where I'm going to take it as na EMP underscore ID that I'm going to take a ID that is an int, which is known as an integer. And we people have to take it as a primary key. As we people don't have a yesterday Prashant, I think so. We didn't go with that. But this is a mandatory field that we people have to use. But I will explain you that activity in later on classes in depthly. Because every particular table should consisting of ID actually. For example, I want to create a particular table over here like this. For example, assume that we do have taken here like in this particular table, I want to create a particular table. Table in a sense, just I want to create some random table over here, which is rows and columns. So here I'm going to take this as EMP, that is EMP underscore ID. In this, I want to create an next one. I do have an first underscore name that I'm going to take as a name. Last underscore, I'm going to take a name. Department and salary that I'm going to take it as a salary. And I'm going to take it as a hire underscore date that I'm going to take it as a date. So over here, I'm going to take this take this activity known as a department. In this, I want to employ ID 1, 2, 3, 4 that I do have taken. Now I want to place the particular first name that I want to provide it as a first name actually. In this particular first name, I want to take it as a Raja. Just I'm going to take Raja. And I want to take with a last name known as Shaker and department CSE, salary, some random number that I do have given, and a date that we need to provide a particular date that is on 19 or 28 and as well as 2025 that we people do have provided. So this is the date that we do have to, but actually in the date format, year will be the first and month will be the first and date will be the last. And Vamshi that I'm going to Vamshi, KRISHN Krishna, and we are going to CSC. And here I'm going to take it as a salary, that is some random salary that we do have provided. And here date, high date, that is 20 and 08 and as well as the 2025 that we do have provided. And next one is Raja Vamshi that we do have given, right? So in the same scenario, I want to take with any random name that you want to take, just you can go with the random names. So as we people do have created, this is where we people have created table actually. The same kind of a table that we people want to create in the real time that you want to create in a real time. Then here I want to go to the SQL. Here you need to write a particular query. In the two patterns we can do. Directly we people can go and create a particular table in the graphical interface. Like going here, writing the table name, how many columns you require, you can do that. But this is not the but this is not the right way to do that. So here I'm going to take as create table that I'm going to take as a table where I'm going to take it as employees that I'm going to take employees is a table name that I do have taken a table name actually. In this particular table name, I want to represent emp underscore id, that is na int, that is na primary key that I'm going to take as a primary key. And next one, when I do have created this primary key, over here I want to take with a first underscore name, and where I'm going to take as na varchar actually, where I'm going to take as na 50 that I do have taken with a 50. So next one is I'm going to take as na last underscore name, where I'm going to take it as na varchar. In this varchar, I'm going to take with na 50 that I am going to take as na 50. And department, I'm going to take it as na department that is na varchar, where I'm going to take is na 50 that I am going to take, I mean, how much you want to take the particular length or something like that, I want to take the 100. And next one is I'm going to take it as na salary, that is na varchar that I'm going to varchar. In this department or some, I mean, salary that you want to go with a decimal, 10 digits that I do need, and separate with comma 2, which means 0.2 decimals. 0.2 decimals అంటే మనకి నెంబర్ తర్వాత ఎన్ని పాయింట్స్ పాయింట్ తర్వాత ఎన్ని వాల్యూస్ కావాలి 2 decimals. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ హైర్ డేట్. Where people have taken within a date. In this per date, I want to, I mean, it is automatically takes the date over here. So this is a one of the particular query that whatever we people do have taken, that we people were representing over here. This is the pattern. Yeah. To create that particular data table, just copy and just click on go, and automatically, oh, it says that the hide data. Whatever you have syntax to, that is check the manual corresponding to that. MaranDB writes syntax to use a particular hide date, okay. Data, maybe the version may be changed. Okay, bro. Okay, let me take it on timestamp. Data. Oops, it says correct syntax. What's the right syntax? MaranDB right syntax, okay. Basically, it also take the syntax, but it does not given that. That's fine. So over here, let me take this. Let me check the database because hide date. Okay. Yeah. So let me take here. Like we people do have taken with some table over here in the this is the one of the table that we do have taken. Now, once we do have taken this table, just we people are going to execute that. Syntax. What the hell, man? Okay. Now click on thing. What the hell? Okay, comma.
Sir, instead of comma, I think it's parenthesis.
Sorry?
Instead of comma, I think we should put parenthesis.
No, not required. No, parenthesis is not required. Where you are saying that?
Normally for every line, sir.
No, you are saying that a single quotes maybe, but not required actually. Basically not required, but Check the manual corresponding MariaDB syntax line. Use the near to. It was not required all this stuff. Actually, it has to create. We need to create that actually. Primary key. I think this is the one which it is going to create a problem. Okay. Not yet. Okay, let me take the hide date. As it's saying it's an error, right? And just click on go. Version for the right syntax to use okay, fine. Which means it's not like we people do have taken within a varchar actually. It's not a varchar, it's a decimal actually. So decimal. Yeah, decimal. So for that, it is not going to show that actually. So, okay. So click on go and the data, the table has been created. Just copying that particular activity. And over here, I want to create a particular database. Whatever the creating, this is the one which we do have created. Every time when we people have created this activity, employee varchar, and here we are going to take So over here, we people do have taken, this is a table that we people are going to create any kind of a table that we people can create it. And here we do have created a table. And may I know how many commands we do have used? We used two commands. One is create and as well as second one is we people call it as create. Two table to one particular command create that we have used to create the database and as well as a table. Now, after creating the particular database and as well as in a table, now we people have to insert the particular data inside the particular table. Now, to insert the particular data, we people have to use something we call is DML, that we have to use the DML concept. So, I mean, we people will learn something on DML, DDL, రెండు mix చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తుంది, don't get confused. So here I'm going to take some of the activity which are related to something we call it as what is a DML. So we need to talk about this particular activity because which is plays a major role, which is going to plays a major role in our particular system. So can anyone tell what is DML? DML full form? So basically, when we people are calling it as a DML, it's nothing but data manipulation language, where you can do some of the particular operations that you can perform. Operations are nothing but you can which we people used to call it as now CRUD operations. For example, DML is a DML stands for data manipulation language that we are going to use. It is a subset of SQL used to manage and manipulate data within existing tables actually. Which is when I'm going to call that, it's not the structure that we people are going to take. And we people make sure that in these common commands that we are going to use it as the common DML commands. The first one, which we people most of the times we use is the select Second one, we people call it as na insert. Third one, which we people call it as na update. And the fourth one, which we people are going to use it as na edit, delete. So these are all the commands which is used to work on the table, not on the, but we cannot use these commands on this particular commands. We people cannot perform on the database. Only we people can perform all these activities on the table only. All the above commands are used to manipulation is done based on done on tables. I'm going to take this only on tables, not on database. That we are going to take this not on the particular database. Here I'm going to take it as a select. What do you mean by select? Select is nothing but retrieve, which means we people used to get all the particular data, retrieves data from one or more tables that I'm going to take as a tables. Insert. What do you mean by insert? We can add new rows of data into a table that I'm going to take as into a particular table. Next one is update. Is nothing but modifies existing data within a table that we people are going to take as a table actually. Delete. What does this particular delete is going to do? Delete is going to removes the data from a table, from a particular table. From each table, the data is going to be removed actually. So that is how we people are going to use this activity. Now let us go and see. With some of the activity. How do we people use this data inside the particular table? So, for example, I want to insert the particular data. The first one is I want to take it. I'm going to take it as na insert data. Insert new records, which we call it as na rows, or you can call a row or rows, whatever it is. A new record that we people want to add. In that particular cases, I'm going to take with a syntax or a example. The example is nothing but where I'm going to take as na insert into employees, that I'm going to take as employees. Employees is my particular table name. Here we do have created a particular table known as the employees. Now in this particular employees, let me perform over here itself. Go to the table. And in this particular table, as you have a server, again, structure, I'm going to table, databases. Here you can find the databases. This is my database. Click on that. And in this particular database, I want to take it as an employees. In this, click on this employees. In this particular employees, you can see there is an empty data and there's only tables. Now I want to click on SQL. In this particular activity, I want to insert into employees actually. In this, I want to take it as an employee ID. That I want to take it as an employee ID, first name, and as well as na last name, and as well as na department, and as well as na salary, that I'm going to take it as na salary, comma, hire date, that I'm going to take it as na hire date, which means like on which particular date that we people are going to take. Now, what are the particular data that you people have taken over here, the data which you people are going to taken, or you people are representing the particular hire date. Yeah. So this is where we do have taken, and I'm going to take it as now values, which means I need to enter some of the particular values. Values are nothing but I want to enter the value known as the employee ID is 1, and where I want to take it as now Raja. And at the same time, I want to take it as na last name. I want to take it as na Shaker. And separate with the comma, I want to take this department, that is a CSC. Separate with the comma, salary, which means what would be the salary. So I'm going to take it as a salary. So as it salary is a decimal point, so I'm going to take some of the values over here, like in a 90 or something like that. Separate with comma, high date. Date is nothing but automatically the date is going to represent in 2025 -08 or something like that. 08 is the month, and 20 is our particular date. And just make sure this particular data, a single record that I want to execute, and just, oh, it says that does not exist. Okay. Employees, EMP LOYES, insert into the particular table.
Sir,
Uh,
it's double S, sir. E double S.
Sorry, maybe a spell mistake actually. Yeah, double S. Yeah. And just I want to execute the particular table over here, taking this activity and just clicking on OK. So once I click on that activity, I got my particular query over here and just going over here. In this query, I want to take it as an insert into the particular record where I'm going to add it. So this is one single record that we people to have added. Now let's go to the particular table. Just click on the table on the top. You will get the particular record in the form of a tabular format. Oh, that's well and good that we people got the info. I mean, whatever the info that we got, we people got the particular data which we people can see. The same kind of an activity, if I want to add something, we people call it as what we call multiple data that you want to add, or multiple information that you want to add over there. That is now where I want to take it as now insert into where I'm going to take it as now employees from this particular activity. First name, last name, and department, and you need to take a salary and hire data that we do have taken. In this, I want to take as now values. In this particular values, I want to take the activity in such a way that is now we are going to take a 101 comma where I'm going to take as now Raja, and at the same time I want to take it as now Shaker. Department CSC, and salary that randomly I'm going to give some value, like random value, and just I'm going to get this date or something like that, that is 2025, and the month that I want to choose the month 09, and the particular date that we are going to give it as a date over here. And just you people have to click on go to make sure that data has been registered. But here to create a particular multiple column, multiple records, separate with the comma, take separate with the comma, take separate with the comma. How many records you do require, that many of records that you can create. Okay. So over here, I do have a 101, right? So I want to create it as a 2, and I want to create it as a 3 that I'm going to take as a 3, and I'm going to take it as a 4 that we do have Raja, and here I'm going to take it as a Vamshi, and here I'm going to use it as na Krishna. I'm going to take it as na Krishna. And over here I'm going to take with another one which we people call it as na third one, Blackie, and I'm going to take it as na baby. And here I'm going to take with na Raja, right? So in this Raja, I want to take it as na something we call it as na Shilpa, and I want to take another name known as Shilpa. And this is where I do have created, and just click on this particular scenario, just click on that, all the records got saved, which means that by using this particular query, we people are going to store all the particular data over here. So go to the employee, you people got inserted all the information. Now, once the information was got inserted over here, example that it is going to provide that particular example over here. In this values that I'm going to provide a value. In this, I want to take it as some of the values over here like this. So to enter the multiple records. Table. Multiple records into the particular table, we people are going to process that particular activity. So this is how we people are going to insert the particular table over here. So this is how we people are going to take a particular data. So inserting is nothing but into the particular table, we need to add the particular information one after the other actually. So that is where we people are going to call it as that is where we people are going to call this activity known as inserting the data into the particular database that we people are going to take that. Hopefully that everyone got understood how to insert the particular data into the database. Now let us go and insert whatever the data that we do have inserted. Now we people want to see the data. So normally to see the particular data, we people do have one of the query actually. Some people might be asking me saying that Raj, I can see by clicking over here, I can see the table, but this is a graphical representation. But whenever you people want to see in some other particular records or some other particular data, so in such particular cases, we people have to go with the next activity. We call it as this is a one or two, that is. The first one is I want to view the data, which means I want to select which we call view information from the table data. So I want to see that particular data. To see that particular data, I'm going to view cell where I want to select all the data. View all the data. That is select star from employees that I'm going to take it as my employees that I'm going to take. This is where we do have created a select where I can view all the data into the particular database. And next one, we people do have I want to specific a record, which means just select this query, and let us go to the particular database. In this database, I want to make sure that I want to select the employees that I do have an employees over here. In this, I want to take the particular employees over here by running this. When I'm running this particular query, I'm going to get the data of different values over here. That is Naraja, Vamshi, Blackie, Shilpa, Shekhar, Krishna, like all the information, all the data that we people do have. We people are fetching all the particular records over here, which means all the records that I'm going to get and I'm going to use the particular data. So this is how the particular activity that we people are going to take over here. So this is how we people do have taken. Now let us go and see, I want to specific record, which means I want to use some kind of a filter and I want to apply some condition actually. Conditions in the sense, conditions in the sense you can apply some of the conditions based upon your requirement where you have to use all the, where all the particular users data I want to customize and I need to use some operators. In the Python, we do have an operators, similar kind of an operator we need to use. For example, I want to use some of the activities that are nothing but where I want to take this na select, that is na first name, comma, where I'm going to take the first name and as a department, where I want to see only two particular columns. I don't want to see all the columns. If I want to see all the columns, over here you do have a number of columns like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I want to see only two columns. If I want to see the two particular columns over here, I want to take it as na selector. Select, don't use a star. Star indicates all the value. I will give that information. Selector, first name, first name, and at the same time, I want to take it as na department that I want to department from which table. There is na employees table that I'm going to use the employees table, and just execute this particular scenario. Just execute that. I got only two particular department columns and I'm going to get this information actually. So which means here I want to view only two columns, then I'm going to use this particular query. Next one is I want to make sure when I want to execute these few queries, and based upon the condition, which means that as you people can observe, as you people can see over here in this, whose salary is much greater, like we people do have a salary. The salary whose salary is greater than 12,000, then I need to print only their particular record actually from employees, where I'm going to take it as a condition. That is not salary is greater than 1,000, that I do have a more than 1,000. If anyone do have 1,000, or how much we do have 12,000. Okay, we do have now more than 10,000. I want to print that particular record based upon the condition of filter. I'm going to get this other. Oh, I'm going to get 10,000 over here, all the records. Wow. So I need to check this scenario here. How many records that you want to print out based upon the company basis. Here we do have a 10,000. This is 34,000. Here 1 lakh. Oh, okay. So I need to write the particular query, and in this particular query, I want to take the 10,000 I do have, adding it the 1 lakh, and just clicking this, taking this activity and executing that. I'm going to have Raja CSC, which means this Raja CSC, like first name and as a department, they do have a more than 1 lakh salary. So specific based upon the particular filter that where to view uh, to view only specific columns. We people are going to take as select the first name department from employees, where I'm going to take it as now employees over there actually. So this is how we people are going to take some of the activities. This is how we people will select the data, and don't we people have taken only few datas. We'll do more practice on a small scenario. I mean, just I'm going to give a small note how to create that. From tomorrow, we people will apply the DML, DDL, like in creating on a applying on a project, and we have to do some operations on that. So we'll do that activities in tomorrow session. And third one is I want to take it as an update. So I want to take it as an update, which means whenever you want, I mean, most of the times when you people are sending a message to your friend, right, which is known as an insert. And when the particular friend is sending some message to you and you are viewing that data, which we call it as na view, or you can call it as na selector. And now, what are the data you have missed some of the data for you, and you have just remove that activity, like now what we call, you want to edit that update your particular record. If you want to update that particular record, or you want to update or modify some kind of record, modify existing data. I want to modify the existing data. That is where I want to use it as now update or modifying existing data in the table. In the table, I want to do that. So over here, like I want to take with an example. The example is nothing but it's very simple. That is not update. That is not employees. That I'm going to take an employees is my table name, or you can go with a syntax update table name setter, where column name column 1 equals to some value updated underscore value comma, I want to use another updated value, comma, where I want to, this is where we do have taken in this particular scenario, do remember. Update value and column 2, you want to go with a column 2, that I want to go with the column 2, that is now updated underscore value, that I'm going to take is now value set, where column 1 and column 2 that you want to update, where you have to take the primary key, which means employee ID, or you have to go with the unique keys. Either you need to choose a primary or you need to go with a secondary known as the unique, primary and as a unique. Set employee ID equals to, either it's a 101, just you want to make that particular update over here, which we people are going to take. This is known as, it is update value, that is now primary key, primary underscore key, that I'm going to take as a key that we are going to choose. And we are updating this activity. This is the syntax. And let me take with an example. Raj, how do you people do that? So in this example that I want to do this example over here, there is an SQL. In this SQL, I want to do it as an update, that I want to use it as an update. And here I'm going to take it as an employees, that I'm going to take it as an EMP, that is an employees is my particular table. In this table, I want to use it as a set, is one of the particular method on a set. And I want to take it as a salary equals to, I want to use it as a some of the salary that I want to provide it as the from 1 lakh to 6 lakh that I want to take. Where I'm going to take a where, and I want to take it as an EMP ID equals to, that is EMP ID, which is equals to 101 or 1, whatever you want, you people can just take that and just make sure that you are going to run that. And we people got updated. Let us go and see. As you can see here, the particular person updated was 101, that is a 6 lakhs, which means the particular record that we people are going to update that. Just click on that and let us see. It was not updated because the particular 101 is not available with us actually. So over here, if you again go back and just make sure that you are going to run that one record and just you are going to execute that particular activity. Here our record got updated. Over here, I'm just going this particular scenario. There is nothing but na employee. There is a salary 6,000 got updated over here actually. In the place of that particular activity, we people do have updated. This is how we people are going to update a particular single column or multiple columns that you can take or you can make it as a modify the particular records. The fourth one, the last one which we do have is a delete. That's what exactly delete is going to do. Delete is nothing but where we remove data from database that I'm going to use within a database. By using this particular database, we people are going to remove the particular information from the system. So record, which means removing data from table, which is a single record. Now I want to make sure this activity, I want to take it as na delete, that is na from, I want to take it as na delete from, that is na employee, that I'm going to take as na employees, where I'm going to take as na where employee underscore ID, that I'm going to ID equals to 1. Now I do want to delete this particular record, single record. Then I'm going to go to the particular SQL, and here I want to run this particular query and just make it as an execution known as clicking on go actually. Do remember. Now it is going to ask the validation and just clicking on yes. Oh, it says the table employee does not exist, which means somewhere we do have taken a mistake. It's double S actually. And just click on that activity over here, just clicking on that and a warning, click on OK. The record number 1 got deleted and just go particle back. The record number 1 got deleted over there actually. So this is how we people do have performed on the DML, that is data manipulation that we do have done. And we people are removing the one single record from the particular table. So here is the same activity that we do have represented. in this particular scenario, and all this particular data will be removed from the particular table with an example that we saw with an example action. So this is how the particular DML that we people are going to work on that. And let us take with a note, there is not DML changes the data, not the table structure. Table structure. Next one is we people are going to use it as na some DML operations like update and as well as na delete. We are going to take na delete can be rolled back if you are using, if we people are going to use the transition, that I'm going to transitions actually. So this is how we people do have taken with some of the particular node that we people are going to define over here. All this particular information. This is how we people are going to add, edit. We people used to call this activity same DML commands. Whatever the DML that we do have, we can call it as crude. That is create, read, update, and as well as delete. So that is where we people can also call it as create and update. In simple terminology, you can call this activity. So it similarly looks like, because without these operations, we people cannot perform any activity. That is it looks like you are referring the DML actually, which means I'm going to take this as a DML. Give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. I'm sorry, guys. Similarly, it looked like in a DML process actually. DML data manipulation, whatever we do have actually. So here, when we people stands or when we people want to basic operations, when we create C, R, U, and as well as D that we stands for. C stands for creates, and R stands for read, which we people call it as selector. And create, we do have a create option actually. And update, that we do have an update only. As we command, we do have an update. And next one is delete, that we do have an delete, which we people are going to take it as delete the particular activity. So that is where we people do have taken with something we call like create. You can call it as insert, update, and as well as delete, that we people are going to use. So this is the one of the operations that we people are going to use this activity. Some people will call CURD operations. It's not CURD, crude, or you can call CURD. See, some people, it depends upon the person to person. It varies. Don't get confused on this activity, guys. So these are the few activities that we do have done. In the DML, we have created the DDL, and in DML, we have applied the 4 queries that we do have created. So this is how the particular queries, the data is going to add manually into the particular system. Manually in the sense, every time when you people want to add some of the information or some of the data that you want to add, we people are going to insert entire information into this particular system, guys. So this is how we people are going to use that. Is that clear? I hope it's clear. Is anyone to have any doubts or any questions still here? Please let me know. Okay, update. I think we didn't do the update actually. So let us go and do the update. So if you want to make any update or any kind of changes that you want to see, P is there na fourth record. So if I want to perform that, I'm going to take some of the records known as update. So I'm going to take it as update. update. Where I'm going to, I mean, as you have taken update. So here we people are going to use a particular update. Using the update. Update is nothing but where we people have to modify and we people have to use some of the data, right? So over here, update is nothing but where we people have to take this employee is a table name and set is a keyword, set the column name and their particular updated value that we people have to take. So here update where I'm going to take it as now employees. In this particular employees, I'm going to use it as now set column name that I'm going to use a column name known as the last name that I'm going to take it as my last name equals to I'm going to take it as my param. And here once I taken this activity where I'm going to take a condition where employee ID which is equals to I want to take it as the 4. And just once we people have taken a 4 and just click on OK and the particular data was updated. So let us go here in this particular data. In the previous data, when I click on that, I used to have P. The data was updated. When you are updating your particular profile pictures, whenever you want to update your name on the WhatsApp or social networking, or you are editing some of the message in the WhatsApp or Instagram, or all these activities can be used over here in this particular scenario. I hope it's clear for everyone. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear, or do you people have any doubts? Ajay, yes, clear. Yeah. So this is how we people do have implemented the DML process today. And I'll be sending some few activities for you people to create the databases and some of the particular tables to create and to work on that. So we'll see those activities in tomorrow particular session by working on the DML. We left with a few of the DML process like alter, drop, truncate. We'll see those activities in tomorrow particular class. Like what exactly the alter do, what exactly the drop do, and what exactly the truncate is going to do. And we do have a rename also. So those things will complete this 4 in tomorrow session. So this was the class for today. And tomorrow we'll catch up the particular activities. And if anyone do have any doubts or any questions, that you people can ask me over here. Yeah. So we'll catch up in tomorrow session, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.